Do you think Baker Mayfield makes any sense for the 49ers?
I don't think he makes any sense anywhere.
I'm Robin Lundberg, joined by former NFL star Richard Sherman, who has a new 8-part series on Audible alongside Taylor Rooks called The League. And Richard, we're going to get into that in just a moment. We're going to play a quick game of this or that first. All right, which quarterback would you take going forward, Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes?
Probably Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's just done it over a longer period of time. He's won the MVP. He's won Super Bowls. He's been to multiple Super Bowls. So at this point, he's still more accomplished.
More to blame for this Broncos season, Nathaniel Hackett or Russell Wilson?
Both. I think both are, have equal blame. I think, when you talk about football, you always talk about wins being a quarterback stat. And so the losses have to also be a quarterback stat if that's how we're counting it.
Why do you think he hasn't been able to respond this year and the team hasn't rallied around him?
They didn't know him. They didn't know him, and apparently they didn't study his tape. It kind of seemed like they didn't do it enough to adjust to their personnel, and they got banged up at the running back, receiver, tackle. A lot of old linemen went out. Their defense is still playing phenomenal, but there's a plethora of reasons.
Do you see him turning it around at any point?
They don't have a ton offensively. It just depends on what they do in free agency, and they got to make a lot of different moves to inject more talent into the team.
We'll remove Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa. Which AFC East QB would you rather have for your team, Mac Jones or Mike White?
I mean, I like Mike White. Obviously I've been singing his praises since, since last year when he got to start and threw for 400 on the Bengals team that went to the Super Bowl. I think Mac Jones is a good quarterback and he's done good things for the Patriots, but, he's getting held back by Matt Patricia and, this experiment they have going on with the offensive coordinator. And I think Mike White's just in a better situation overall in terms of his offensive coordinator and the personnel around him.
Last one, of your former teams, who do you expect more from the remainder of the season, Seahawks or 49ers?
Well, I mean, I expect both of them to find a way into the playoffs. Obviously the 49ers have won, 5 straight? But Jimmy G just went down. Their defense is playing as good as they've ever played a good Miami Dolphins offense and shut them down. Geno Smith is playing as great as anybody in the National Football League right now. So he deserves a ton of credit. They just have to solidify things defensively, and it's going to be a very meaningful game out in Seattle on the 15th.
Do you think Baker Mayfield makes any sense for the 49ers?
I don't think he makes any sense anywhere.
Any sense that he's just done as a starting caliber NFL QB or NFL QB?
Yeah, I mean, he can. I'm sure he can back somebody up, but people give too many opportunities to these quarterbacks in the first round just because they got picked in the first round. If you treated them like you do 5th, 6th round, 7th round picks, then would you give these opportunities, or how would you look at their body of work versus hey, you got all the talent in the world and quote unquote ceiling and yada, yada, yada. I'm sure somebody would give him another opportunity because he went so high in the draft, but I wouldn't.
Coming from Richard Sherman, Baker Mayfield about to be out of the league. That's the name of the series on Audible, The League. Tell us a little bit, Richard, about that and why people should check it out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's talking about the untold stories of the National Football League, stories that people may or may not have heard of, and things that are really, really interesting and really, really cool. Audible did a great job of putting together this and using research and using sources from all over the place, college professors, ex-NFL players that are involved in the situation. A lot of really cool stuff that I think if people gave it a shot, they'd really enjoy it.
You can check it out on Audible, 8-part series. Richard Sherman, Taylor Rooks. Richard, appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.